They were already bedded in, already battle hardened, already had experienced losses, stupid amount of contacts. They were angry. They were pissed. The first words that my section commander said to me was, all these guys here, they've been through the shit out here, okay? So watch what you say, watch how you behave, because if any of them want to bang you out, they fucking will.
Hey troops, welcome back to the channel and the podcast Beyond the Frontline with me, Ryan Forrest, and our co-host James Williams. So Commando training has been done and we're starting a new series now of the whole Afghanistan stuff. Now, there's going to be an awful lot to talk about with regards to Afghanistan, especially James's own experiences, spent a lot of time out there and everything. So before we get into that, and we start breaking the whole Afghanistan tours, both in the Marines and, more importantly, Special Reconnaissance Regiment stuff. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe to the podcast. All of your comments and stuff are read. They're much appreciated, and hopefully we'll get back to you very soon on there as well, guys. So thanks for stopping by. The support is greatly appreciated. James, how are you doing?
All good. Been out on a bike this morning. Just
Good stuff, man.
Just letting my my nervous system settle down again now. If I'm a bit jittery, you know why.
Yeah. Well, it might get a bit jittery talking about Afghanistan. It's going to be... When was your first tour of Afghanistan, James?
So my first tour was Herrick 5. It wasn't all of Herrick 5. I went out as a BCR, Battle Casualty Replacement. I obviously came over the bridge, got my Green Beret, passed out King Squad, and 1 week later, I was out in Afghanistan. I was out in Goreshk. So I flew from Brize Norton out to Bastion, and then from Bastion made my way to Goreshk to join to join 4-2 Commando. Try and remember what company I was with. Do you know what? It's such a blur. The whole thing is such a blur, but also at the same time, I remember pertinent points about it. It's a weird one.
What year was this? 2007?
This was 2007. So if I passed out of Marine training March, 23rd of March 2007, I was out in Afghanistan beginning of April. Effectively, CTC was my pre-deployment training.
Wow.
Yeah.
So just for reference, you normally get about 6 months or so, don't you, to pre-deploy and train.
Yeah.
And you had, albeit 9 months, but from civvy to bootneck to 1 week later being out in Ghana is crazy, right?
This isn't what it was, but, you know, when we were talking about the experiment of sending guys straight on SF selection out of the box, this wasn't what it was. It wasn't that experiment, but in essence, you could probably step back and say it is a kind of like a little look and see.
You could equivalent it, couldn't you?
Yeah, you could. Yeah. You could equivalent it, couldn't you? Instead of going on selection, you're going out to an active and very kinetic theatre of war.
I mean, you kind of proved that the concept of commando training doesn't just work, but works very, very well. You can deploy to operations after commando training.
Yeah, Herrick 5 wasn't a tour for me, but was kinetic at all. If I'm honest, I went out there. I was a battle casualty replacement. Herrick 7 was a kinetic one. Herrick 7 was where all the action was at. So I didn't get to put into practice any of the skills, I guess you could describe, from CTC. However, that ready to go, ready to deploy, ready for anything at any time, Marine kind of approach, which is what you're taught in CTC, that was very much put into test and put into effect.
So did you leave Commando Training Centre, then go to 4-2 Commando, get issued kit, or did you do all of that from Commando Training Centre? How did that work for you? Did you actually have to go to unit first?
I got my kit issued out in Afghanistan at Brize Norton. No, sorry, at Camp Bastion.
Really?
I remember doing like some sort of real quick 5-day buck sheet, pre-deployment training, perhaps jumping on the back of some sort of other pre-deployment training for I was actually with a lot of the army. We were doing
Mm.
pre-deployment training with a lot of the army because they were preparing for Herrick 6. So they basically threw me into whatever stage they were at, Herrick 6, of training for Herrick 6. I went and, I think I managed to fit in some mine sweeping training, some mine detection training. I can remember that specifically. Maybe a few other bits and pieces. And literally, it was a fastball onto the plane at Brize Norton and out to Camp Bastion.
So at this point, not really worried about kit and stuff because your issue happened.
Was at Bastion, yeah.
So that's how quick it was.
Yeah.
I mean, most people get at least the weekend off after Commando training. You were deployed. That's about, you talk about keeping the momentum and never taking your foot off the gas.
Yeah.
That's the start of it, right?
Well, no, the start of it is CTC, isn't it?
Yeah, true. Yeah, and your foot stayed on there, glued. So talk to me, what was going through your head getting told you're going straight out there as a BCR?
I was cool. I was chill with it. Didn't bat an eyelid. Just, just
Do you
crack
see
on.
what kind of gem that is now? Knowing, for instance, my situation, not getting out there and stuff, and you getting out there, boom. That's pretty. I mean, that's ideal, isn't it? Really, I would think.
Going a little bit further down the line, I remember, living unit life, 4-2 Commando, 40 Commando, going back to Limpston or Faz Lane to do Limpston to do my junior command course. There was lads were scrambling for Afghan tours. It wasn't. I mean, I went to Afghan 4 times. I mean, I could have. It just kept coming round on a belt feed for me, and it's weird because then you got other lads who are scrambling for that tour, and a lot of them didn't get it. And that concept is strange to me. I was like, in my head, I'm thinking,
how did you not get it?
How can you not get it, man? They're like, they're dishing them out for free on a plate.
Yeah. I guess it's just the right place at the right time.
Right place, right time. Right place, right time, and also right attitude, okay? Right attitude.
I agree. You got to be the right person as well, haven't you?
Listen, when I look back over my whole career, a lot of it was right place, right time. But also, a lot of it was how I played it, okay? How the moves that I played. Not taking the easy draft, not taking the easy route. That has a huge impact on it as well.
Yeah, I think it's testament because your experience speaks volumes of that. So you're on the plane. What next?
Well, so as you know, Ryan, going to join your unit out of the box, it's brutal, isn't it? You go to 40 Commando down in Taunton. You go to 4-2 down in Plymouth. You go up to 4-5. Arbroath?
Arbroath, yeah. Up Scotland, East Coast.
Yeah, you especially go to 4-5 at Arbroath. It's especially brutal out of the box.
It is.
Everything above the border is brutal.
It's
weather,
full of Scottish, Newcastle, Geordie Mackems. It's. My first experience of 4-5 Commando was after a couple of years in the Corps. It's got a different feel. Put it that way. Yeah. It's
and. Ryan, coming out of training, coming out of the box, Sprog, essentially, you're a piece of shit, aren't you? You're a piece of shit.
That's the perfect way to describe it. You are actually a piece of shit. You're hated. You are, and to be fair, you have to. It's going through Commando training. That last week at King Squad, your ego is through the roof. You're the bee's knees, and that's not going anywhere anytime soon, unless it kind of gets, in some cases, quite literally kicked out of you.
You're brought back down to earth with a thud,
and you need it as well because you are nothing when you get to unit. You might be a Marine, but you are nothing. There's some absolute alpha male gorillas at unit.
Well, so. I mean, think of it in this way. Think of this concept here. So, should I have gone to 4-2 Commando, gone to Plymouth, joined? I'm trying to think if it was Juliet or Lima. For some reason, I seem to think it was Lima. You joining your squadron, joining your troop, joining your section. I mean, it's going to be hard enough at a unit. Now, I wasn't expecting this. I knew there was going to be a Sprog routine. However, it was brutal. Joining a section already bedded in, a troop, a section, a unit. It was brutal. Already joining them, they were already bedded in. already battle hardened, already had experienced losses, stupid amount of contacts. They were angry. They were pissed. And these two new Sprogs turn up. Mate, you were for it. You were for it. I remember the first thing I've joined my section, and you imagine I'm straight out in Afghan. I'm in one of the accommodation tents. You know, your typical Green Army tent out in the desert somewhere. And the first words that my section commander said to me was, "Sit down. All these guys here," with reference to the troop, the section, they've been through the shit out here. Okay, so watch what you say, watch how you behave, because if any of them want to bang you out, they fucking will. You're a rabbit in headlights already, mate, and you get delivered that.
So it's basically switch the F on and listen to the lads, learn from them, be prepared to be banged out, and just
Mate,
crack on.
I'm not even focusing on the listen to the lads and learn from them. I'm focusing more on that second part. Just be prepared to be banged out. I'm an angry sod. I'm an angry fucker, and I want someone to take it out on. And you just turned up. So
you're an easy target, aren't you?
Yeah.
I mean, I personally think it was bad enough going to a unit where you're a new lad. I can't even imagine jumping out there, especially your situation. You just came from like a TV show being filmed, and you
Mate,
know
it wasn't appreciated. It really wasn't appreciated.
I can see that.
Yeah.
And you got some young lads as well. I mean, great soldiers, great individuals. But when you're 19, 20 still, you might be experienced in Afghanistan, but not necessarily in life. And you're still going to act like a 19-year-old Jack the Lad to a degree. And you were 24 at this point. 24, 25?
24.
So you've seen a bit, and you're arguably not going to take a bit of shit yourself, you know?
Well, do you know what? I remember it's like you know this is a common approach in the Marines, isn't it? People of a higher rank saying, "I'll bang you out." It's a common thing, isn't it? And they think they can bang you out because they got 2 stripes on their shoulder.
They think that them 2 stripes automatically equates to they've got a 10th dan in jiu-jitsu. You know,
I've seen it before, right? Where I was friends with a lad in the Corps. He was a tri-service boxing champion, Army, Navy, and RAF boxing champion. Real nice lad, you know, real nice lad. Quite soft in his approach, but the man could box, right? And when a corporal takes a dislike to him, because he's quite soft in his approach, you know, doesn't really have much respect for him, and a corporal turn around and say, "If you keep behaving this way, I'm going to bang you out." But I remember one time just putting this lad to one side, and I went, "Mate, right, listen. Next time he says to you, I'm going to bang you out, I'm telling you now, mate, forget the 2 stripes, all right?
Yeah.
Just turn around and say, okay, come on in, let's go.
Let's have a go."
Mate, I said, "Mate, you're a tri-service boxing champion."
He's going to absolutely... There's probably not many people in the entire military. Well, there isn't. He's the best guy at his weight. Yeah. This is the problem. The attitude is... I often say this. I've speak to people... being a Marine doesn't make you hard. There's some hard Marines, though.
Oh, there are, yeah.
You understand? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I've had quite a few issues in that regard. I was a boxer before I joined the Corps. I had 35 fights before I joined, so I'm not going to say I'm a hard guy. Yeah. But I know that most of the guys I served with weren't. I knew that. That's what I knew, you know? And occasionally you do get a nutcase who can handle himself regardless. I'm sure you've met a few of those as well.
Yeah. But to tell you, I've met those. However, what I have met more, and we'll come on to this when we come on to like UKSF selection, because that's when I did milling. What I have seen more and come across more is a lot of people, when violence is put out there with regards to hand-to-hand combat, boxing, milling, there's a lot more people sat there with anxiety in their eyes than there is those who are
scary proposition. It's very scary. I mean, look, James, you come from like fighting background, arguably as well. You know, boxing,
martial arts, etc.
You know, that kind of thing. You're not afraid to get in there, so you understand the mindset of fighting with your hands, and it is a scary thing, no matter how much experience you have. I actually get very scared if I know I have to fight someone. I understand what's going to happen to either me or him or both.
Yeah.
Fighting's no joke, is it, really? And
No,
I
it's
think
very foreign. Very foreign to most people. That feeling of actually being in a fight is foreign to most people.
I mean, you've probably seen some guys who did get banged out at unit who've probably never been really punched properly before, and they've getting cracked, and their face, I've seen it a few times, and it was hilarious. It's horrible, but I'm looking at them going, I can tell you've never ever been hit before, because you are absolutely horrified now at like the feeling. It's not great, really, is it? You know?
Well, so you imagine I've gone to my section, and that's what I'm being told. that the ego part of you wants to go, all right then, come on then, let's fucking roll this dice. However, play the game. But with a lot of stuff in the military, it's all right. I'm going to chill. I'm going to play the game. All right. And I did play the game. I played the game, and went out on patrols in Goresh, given the ECM had Chubb on the back because I was a Sprog.
Yeah.
Carry that. I mean, it's not light, is it?
No.
The lads were probably quite happy to have me there because they could dump a lot of kit on me, give themselves a little bit of a break. Deserving of a little bit of a break, because I have been through it. But at the same time, what do you want to do? Go and see the Padre?
Yeah.
Suck it up,
War zone, isn't it?
Yeah, it is a war zone. They had losses, and they had been in quite a few contacts. I think it was actually documented on Commando on the Frontline. I think Chris managed to get out there, and they were doing a pamphlet. You can't bend it. Dawn attack, which I've never seen apart from in training.
A puss's bootneck dawn attack.
Yeah,
it's good though. Like ballsy.
The only thing missing was a bit of water, I think.
Yeah. But before we do this, guys, see that pond fully submerged, get some press-ups banged out, and now we're going to do this. Advance into contact. Oh man, it doesn't get any more better. Like that's pusses, isn't it?
Do you know what? I actually watch that clip. Like I said, I haven't seen the whole of Commando on the Frontline. I haven't seen it all the way through. I find it really hard to watch myself. But I have seen the clip of them preparing for that dawn attack.
Hoofing.
And mate, I don't get it. It's rare I get envious and jealous, mate. There was a little bit of envy there. I was like,
because it's raw soldiering, isn't it? Like
I want to do a dawn attack.
Yeah. It's like it's the bread and butter that doesn't often get. Yeah, you're going out there. You're not just patrolling, you're taking ground type thing.
I was in a lot of contacts on Herrick 7. I mean, my sergeant recorded them somewhere in the region of around 80 to 100.
Wow.
He said, some of those periods, 21 days, every day in contact. Not one of them was a deliberate attack. But I was getting deliberately attacked,
Yes. How do you adapt to that? Yeah, so you wanted to take part in, can we go and have a go at these guys for a change?
Yeah, but where are they? I mean, I was a bit envious. I was like, you guys knew where they were and you had a whole operation set up. I mean, that's what it's about, isn't it?
I think so. I think so. As a bootnik, that's kind of what you sign up for, right? And those guys were doing it. So that happened early before you got there, obviously.
Yeah, that did. That was I wasn't there. I mean, I was somewhere in training. I don't know what stage of training.
You're going through them smarty tubes, probably.
Yeah, I was probably doing my own dawn attack on, I don't know, Baptist run or something.
Hammond concealment. Yeah.
But so that was Herrick 5. There really wasn't much say in the way of actual missions and contacts. I guess it was me just really. I'm grateful for it from the point of view of it. It was a good bedding in for me for what was to come. I got out there. I experienced the journey. I experienced unit life at its most raw and brutal from the perspective of being a Sprog.
Mm-hmm.
I went out there, but before I went out there, I did say, look, I'll go to 4-2, I'll be a BCR. However, it's not my preferred draft, and I am a diamond, so can you give me, I should get my choice of a draft,
Yes.
apparently. So could you give me 40 Commando afterwards so I can go on and do a full Herrick with a new bunch of guys who are training for it, who I've been with.
Full
And it
beat
was
up as well.
Yeah, it was agreed. So when I got back from Herrick 5, I think I spent a day at 4-2, gave my kit back, jumped on JPA, which is the administration system, checked the draft, accepted it, and
Wow.
that was me gone. Never went back to 4-2 ever again.
Wow. So you didn't even get a chance to bed in with the guys after war to kind of get in with them, so to speak. Your journey in the Corps really arguably starts, like, unit life wise, at 40 Commando anyway, right?
40 Commando is my best memories of the Corps. 40 Commando, you know.
Would you consider
lads,
40 as your mother unit, or?
Yeah. I wouldn't consider 4-2. No.
That's interesting.
40, although 4-2, that was my first unit I went to. I was there relatively briefly. You know, I say I didn't do much. I went to Afghanistan, but
Pretty cool.
for my experience, what came after, I didn't do much.
Yeah.
And 40 Commando for me is my true kind of bootneck roots. Yeah.
Same. I was 40 straight out the box, and I'll be honest with you.
It's a fantastic unit, isn't it? It's a fantastic
I think
unit.
40 is, and I've been to all of them, I think 40 is the best unit.
Yeah.
You've got the right balance of professionalism, of
Yep.
toughness, but also it's a nice unit to be at, isn't it? I mean, you live on these places. These bases are grim most of the time. 40 Commando's a manor, isn't it?
It's nice grounds. It's nice weather. It's easily accessible from a country. 4-2, for me personally, I've got a 6-hour drive all the way down that way.
Yeah, it was hideous.
4-5, I have done Faz Lane. So 4-5 for me. I never went to 4-5, but I should imagine it would be the same as going to Faz Lane. It's, for me personally, down in the southeast, it's a 10-hour trip up the line.
Hideous.
40 Commando was the best for. Obviously, it's the best for blokes because that's my experience of the guys mainly. Best for weather, best for accessibility, best, you know, not a nice ambience on the camp. Yeah. I hear a lot of guys say that though.
Yeah, I mean, I loved my time there. I just wish I got to go do a tour with them like an Afghan, but by the time I got to 40 Commando, the lads were already out on the final tour of Afghan for the Corps. I was a BCR troop who never deployed.
What Herrick would that have been? Do you know? Do you remember the number?
I don't know. 2013 when I was there, so
yeah, 2013. So you're probably looking somewhere around like the Herrick 14s, 15s,
14, something like that. Yeah. So not much to speak about in terms of raw soldiering, raw war fighting on Herrick 5 for you. Just that was the way it kind of worked out. Despite some lads probably having a horrific Herrick 5 as well at the same time.
They had casualty. They had, you know, they lost lads. It's documented on the Command on the Front Line.
Yeah. So
I believe Marine Tom Curry. I believe.
Yeah. Vinders. Is that it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember watching that. It was actually quite a hard watch, wasn't it? Is what one of those things.
I got the clip of him kind of like ramming down
through that wall
with his body.
He did a good job of it as well, didn't he? Yeah.
Well, those Afghans know how to build, mate.
Yeah, especially shit huts like that.
Yeah.
But so I mean, there's a kind of look forward then, guys. We're going to be mainly you're going to be speaking on the more kinetic operational stuff that you did. I'm guessing in Herrick 7 to start with. Is that right?
Yeah. Herrick 7.
So as I look forward to that. But just to kind of summarize, you literally went from commando training. Within a week later, you were deployed on Herrick 5 as a battle casualty replacement. And I think the main thing that I've took away from this is the mental side of things from you going as a Sprog. Sorry, not as a Sprog, as like a, on cloud 9, passing out as a bootneck to 5 days later Sprog routine. But everyone has Sprog routine when they leave the Corps, but you went in Sprog routine in a war zone, which isn't common. And
the only thing it was missing was the joining run,
which we'll probably come on to after at some point as well when you get to 40 Commando, right?
I didn't escape it. I didn't escape it. But lads at 40 Commando, when I went there, they were like, Did you do a joining run with 4-2? And you dare not lie. You dare not lie because you know it's integrity, isn't it? It's integrity. You know that they're going to know someone back at 4-2. They'll simply pick up the phone and ask. And if they catch you out lying, the integrity card, that's, you've lost that.
You're finished, really, aren't you?
Yeah, you're finished. You are finished, mate. You'll be a shit bloke. Doesn't matter what you do. People will remember that. They'll remember that you lied. Yeah,
yeah. I've
big
seen
thing,
it follow
isn't it?
lads.
Integrity. Yeah.
Well, it's followed lads around for careers, hasn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
So, hey James, thanks for sharing that. I think we're going to get straight into next episode: 40 Commando, pre-deployment training, and Herrick 7. Yeah.
Yeah. No worries.